Do you want to avoid one of the UK's biggest killers? Well, it's simpler than you thought, and in this video, I'll explain how. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have not yet had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Dr. Tom Cordell. I've been a doctor for over 20 years, and in that time, I've helped thousands of patients live longer, healthier, happier lives. And I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to help you in the same way, and also break through some of the nonsense you see online and social media and bust those health myths. Today we're going to talk about cardiovascular disease, which sounds like a very dry technical term, but it's a condition which affects the blood vessels, and because the blood vessels supply every organ in our body, it can affect every single one of those organs. And in doing so, it can cause a massive range of different diseases, many of which can cause significant misery or even end up ending your life too soon. So it includes things like ischemic heart disease, so that's heart attack, angina and heart failure. It also includes cerebrovascular disease, so that's stroke and TIA. And it can also cause lesser known conditions like peripheral arterial disease, which is where the blood vessels that supply your legs get blocked up, your legs go gangrenous and you have to have them chopped off. It can cause eye disease, which ultimately can make you go blind. It can cause chronic kidney disease, which can cause a very slow, unpleasant death. And so it really is an important thing to know about and to avoid. The good news is that because cardiovascular disease causes all of these different conditions, if we address our cardiovascular disease risk, then we can prevent or delay all of those conditions too. So it's a real bang for your buck in terms of improving your longevity, happiness, and long-term health. So one of the things that I always try to explain to my patients is that there is a complex web that links lifestyle issues with risk factors and disease in cardiovascular disease. So we know that there are a number of risk factors that impact on your chance of getting cardiovascular disease. The first is sex. I don't mean having sex, I mean whether you're a man or a woman. So men are at slightly higher risk of getting cardiovascular disease than women. The second is age. So cardiovascular disease gets more common the older you get. The third is smoking. Now, there's absolutely nothing you can do about your sex or your age, so we're going to forget about those because this video is about risk factors that you can modify to change your risk of cardiovascular disease. Now, smoking we've known about for ages and really is a topic in its own right, so I'm not going to talk about that in this video. And that leaves three really important risk factors. First is high blood pressure. Second is high cholesterol. And the third is diabetes. So these are the risk factors for cardiovascular disease. There's nothing you can do about these two. We'll talk about this one in a different video, and that leaves these three really important risk factors: diabetes, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. Now, the good news is that we can group these three risk factors together into a group which can be influenced by a small number of lifestyle factors. So, if we look at the things that influence on your risk of getting high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, they are weight, poor diet, lack of exercise, and alcohol. So poor diet, lack of exercise, and alcohol all influence on your risk of having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, as does being overweight or obese. But also, whilst these three risk factors independently impact on the risk of these things, they also all increase your risk of being overweight. So these are independent risk factors for these three things. Weight can also be impacted by these three risk factors too. So if you can keep these three things under control, then your risk of having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes will be lower, which means that your risk of cardiovascular disease will be lower, which means that your risk of all of those really nasty conditions that we mentioned earlier will be lower too. So, whilst I know that we all want a magic pill or injection or diet that we can go on which is going to help us live long, healthy, happy lives, the truth of the matter is, and I know this is a bit boring, but avoiding booze, staying slim, eating a healthy diet, and doing plenty of regular exercise are really, really powerful things that work in a multifaceted way to keep our cardiovascular risk down. And we know that cardiovascular disease has a massive impact on lots of different organ systems and causes lots of really unpleasant diseases that make you seriously disabled or cause you to drop dead before you should have done. This video is the first in a series, and in the next ones we're going to talk about the specifics of diet, exercise and alcohol and what the evidence shows about what you should be doing with regards to those things in your life in order to improve your cardiovascular risk. Then after that we're going to go on in subsequent videos to talk about what medicine can do to help improve your cardiovascular risk. Overall, the aim being to help you live the longest, healthiest, happiest life that you can. If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See you next time.